Hey guys, today's a bit of a different video. I'm going to be doing a PS5 repair. It's kind of why we haven't been playing a whole lot. It's a pretty easy repair, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have a tough time. So all I'm doing right now is just ripping apart the packaging, got to get it in there. There it is. And you just got to hurry up. I'm struggling. This knife it's actually pretty dull. So watch, you're gonna see me struggle right there. Look at it, just did nothing. Okay, come on, hurry up. Just get on with it. Okay, just yeah, good, thanks. Okay, see, look, there it is. Okay, it's perfect. It's a little scuffed up, it's a little dirty, but there's the port. There's the actual HDMI that I gotta change. So we're just gonna rip it apart. You can tell this thing's filthy. Like, come on, man. Okay, so just get that side off. Now I just gotta get the screws. So I'm gonna be doing that next. As you can tell, I did this without recording my voice and at the same time because it was just gonna be too much. It was just easier to just do this. So look, there you go. Found a hidden screw. Couldn't figure out why it wasn't coming apart. Now we're taking out the fan, and that's after we get the fan out. The entire casing's pretty much just about to pop off. You'll see right here in a second. I'm just using a pick, whatever. Okay, now we got to the board. We can unplug the lights, power, Wi-Fi antenna, all that. I was just showing right there where the ports are. I have to unscrew 47 screws. Yes, 47. I counted them. So just skipped ahead because I'm not gonna have that in the video. So now I'm just pulling that antenna wire back just to get it out of the way because I'm gonna have to pull this plate up. I'm just kind of carefully peeling stuff up. I kind of want to reuse these, but I'm also going to add new tape to it, so I'm not too worried about ripping them, which I did actually end up ripping a couple, but it's fine. I put new tape anyway. So here I pulled up the actual main plate that goes right behind the board. I just need to get that main little cross piece off, and then just got to get this front piece unplugged, and then make sure that the last couple screws are off that board, and then we should be good to go. Right here I'm checking the HDMI. I can see it's physically wiggling, but I changed the camera so that way I can kind of see it better because it was getting a little dark where I was at. So I'm taking off this little cross piece. It goes right behind the CPU. Now that piece I'm actually going to save because I need it on the other side to kind of cover up the CPU. There's this liquid metal, you'll see it right now. But basically I just got to get this separated off the board. First I got to take this power supply off. That's a little tricky, it's a little tight, it has to come off. You just got to wiggle it and yeah, it'll come off. You can see right there, those are the pins that I need to actually go for to actually separate, but came off fairly easy. So there's the pins again. So here I'm just getting the SSD off. Gotta be careful with that, that's all those games. That off, I can now get ready to start slowly but carefully peeling the board up. See, I'm using a little plastic tool. Don't want to use anything metal because I don't want to break anything. I'm also going right here along the edge where I know that there's ground points, so I know that there's nothing going to be underneath the board. Just got to give it like a little wiggle. I'm waiting for this little pop. And there's the pop. Now the board's free. I can pull it up. There's that stuff I was talking about. I'll point it out right now. That's the liquid metal. You don't want to touch that. So I'm just going to take off that dust cover. you can see it's actually moving. It's broken. There's even a little spot right there. I noticed that the board itself, the metal's bent up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of that, clean everything up. Went ahead and looked at the USB. That thing is also trash. Grab that little cover too. And let's get ready to fix this thing. Like I said, we needed to keep that safe, use it for later. I'm gonna get a piece of tape to hold it down. Another one. And another one. And another one. You know, I just don't want this to go anywhere. I just want it to stay still. So now that that's in place, I can start working on this. So I switched the camera, applied a bit of heat to it. Noticed something was burning. It was actually the tape I was using to cover this little resistor right there. Yeah, I had to completely change it, but now I changed it and this thing's starting to come out. As you can see, it actually is broken too. Right there, so I'm showing where it's bent. So I add a bit of flux to clean up everything, clean all the old solder. Flux just helps everything flow better. Also, my soldering iron didn't seem to melt the solder that great, but I got through it and I cleaned everything up. I'm just gonna skip ahead because, you know, you're not gonna want to sit here and watch me struggle to clean this thing. So here we are, cleaned everything up, put a bit of alcohol to clean everything because it's the only thing that's gonna clean it out. Now I'm going ahead and putting a little bit of solder so I can tin them. I think I put a little too much. Yeah, no, I definitely put a little too much. I'm struggling. So I'm now wiping off the excess and just kind of flowing the solder to the other side. Put in a little extra flux just to make sure. You know, everybody loves to say, you know, flux makes solder flow, but hey, it does. So okay, hurry up. Alright, that's looking good. Okay, now I tin the actual pins to the port because it's just gonna make it easier whenever I put it on. They're gonna actually want to attract to each other and attract to one another, so it's just gonna make it easier. I'm just gonna apply a bit of heat just to kind of melt it. I have my soldering iron low, so I'm just getting it hot enough just for it to start melting. So, and then I finish it off with a heat gun. But pretty much after this, that port is done. It's good to go. So right here, I'm just cleaning everything up. A bit of alcohol, cotton swab. I'm actually going over some of the pins that looked a little loose. So I'm just giving them a little heat, letting them stick back down to the pad, and we'll be good. There's actually a resistor too, right next to these pins, so I'm just hitting those because I wanted to wait till the very end to do those, just because I wanted to see what I was doing and make sure everything was connected. Just adding a little bit of solder to the actual side pins. That's just to hold the port in place so that way it doesn't move anywhere. I apply some heat so that way it could flow to the underside of the board, and also I put a bit of solder on the other side just to make sure everything is secure. I forgot to hit record for the USB part, but just know I ripped it off. As you can tell, it's gone. Right here I'm just cleaning up using a solder wick. Wasn't working too well, like I said. It sorta did the job. I had to end up getting my solder sucker. That's literally what it's called. I don't know why, but hey, it works, and it sucks it. So right here I'm actually using the solder sucker. See, look how good that thing works. Look at it, watch. It's gone. Okay, now I didn't want to show you the whole thing because I just want to get on with this video. So right now we're just adding a bit of solder, or that was flux, and I added a bit of solder to the side pin so that way whenever I put it down, it actually sticks and is secure, so I can solder the rest of the pins. Right here I'm putting just a little dab of solder on the pins. Okay, well, camera moved. Okay, so you can see that one. Okay, so now I'm gonna put a bit of flux again, and I'm gonna solder the pins. It's literally that easy. It's really not hard. I know it does take experience to know how to do this stuff, but it's really not hard. You just kind of have to know what you're doing and have the confidence not to mess something up. So now I'm just gonna clean it because that looks good, and put a bit of alcohol and clean it up and test it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that after this. There's the ports. This is the USB, the HDMI. You can see is physically snapped in half. I don't know what he did with it, but yeah, you don't need to worry about that no more. So I'm gonna rip this thing off because I can do now a partial rebuild to test. I went ahead and also added a bit of thermal paste. I didn't want anything to overheat. I know that these pads, it came off, so I just went ahead and replaced what I took off. And now it's time to put the actual heatsink back onto the board. So now I just gotta test it. I plugged it into my monitor and I got no signal, but I had the idea after, it was a little bit after, that we had it locked in 4K, so I took it to my TV and it immediately started working. So now with it done, I started to have another idea.